G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm continuing my work on my Shimpaku junipers. Now this is a follow-on from the other couple of videos that I've done on these Shimpaku junipers. Now this was the one that I wired up, and now if I actually cover this section, you'll remember that this is the bit that I wanted to layer off. So I'll just take you through that again just to show you what I mean. Cover this section up. You might remember this was that nice little twin trunk. Excuse this branch here, but nice little twin trunk that we're going to work through. So I'm going to airlay this branch off that I've kept here. So that's that one. And this is the other one that I'll show you. I didn't actually go through in detail of this tree, but let me take you through this tree. So there's this whole top bit up here that I want to airlayer. So let's try and cover it, and I'll show you what the resultant tree would be if this covers it enough. So now we're going to be left with that little tree there. Do you see that? Nice little mini, and that's the reason why I want to airlay this branch off. You can see it's quite large, quite large and long. There's nothing in between there, and it's nice twisted up top, so we'll be airlaying that off as well. So that's what I'm planning to do today. Take you through the technique, because I don't think I've shown you in a while the airlaying technique that I do. So let me try and get the camera right in there where I'm working. You probably won't see my head, but at least you'll see the work that I'm doing. I'll try and keep the camera as much as I can on the area that I'm going to do, and we'll try and do it in the camera. Okay. All right, let's see how this works. This looks pretty good. I think you get a good close-up view. So where I'm planning to do it is I want to see this bit that curves around. It's actually a nice part to do. Put the roots on around there, around here. So this is where I want the roots to grow. Probably pick there or just a bit above it. And I make a ring bark with my very sharp knife, so be very careful. I just ring bark it right around. This is the careful cut. You've got to be very careful not to cut your fingers. Alright, so make sure that that's a nice all the way around cut. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm trying to do. Pretty boring, but now I don't really care where else I put it along here. I just make it at least the thickness of the trunk, but I always do at least double the thickness of this trunk. So the thickness of the trunk will be around there. I'll probably go to there. So I make sure that there's no possible chance that this tree will try and heal itself. It's too far to join the cambium layers between each cut. So let me just do that as well. So I might leave a little bit so we can create a gin on this side of the tree. This cut I'm not too fussed about. I just do my best to cut around it. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Now I just use my gin pliers and squeeze. Now this time of year, it should really just peel off quite easily. You can see it just coming off quite easy. Hopefully I'm in the camera in the shot there. Let me just take this side off. So you can see you get most of it off in one go. You're going to probably just get in with your knife and just slowly peel away all the sections. As I said, the top sections are most important. You want a very nice clean cut. That's where the roots are going to grow. You see there's a little bit of a stub there, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to turn the tree around. Apologies if you can't see. But all I'm doing is clearing that for top line. Making sure there's no cambium at all on it. Watching my fingers, I don't do any damage. hardest is probably underneath, trying to get the underneath layer off. And once you got that off, it's pretty easy. Try and clean as much of that cambium off as possible. You can scrape it again with the knife if you want. So like this, scrape, 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 scrape. So you can do this if you want. As long as that cut's nice and clean, there's no cambium joining, and I'm good. So I'm pretty happy with that cut, I think. I've just got to clean this bottom bit up. Make sure there's no cambium at all. That's a little bit of finicky work here, but very important. So now we're at the hardwood, the wood that's on the inside. So you can see my cut's actually quite long. It's not, I can only do it, usually you only need to about there, but I make sure of it and I cut it right back, because this part I can put a little gin on this tree here. So now what I do is I get the plastic. In the meantime, I've prepared my sphagnum moss and put them in a little bucket of water. I've got my piece of sheets of plastic, got everything ready to go, and I'll take you what I do. So now I just put this underneath. Let's get the wire out of the way. I try and create a little pouch. Sorry, I'll try and keep the camera in there. Sorry guys, I've got to move it to me a little bit just so I can put the wire on. I just use very, very fine 1mm aluminium. You can use anything you want just to make sure you get a nice tight tie down. That's pretty much all I could say. Now I've created a nice little pouch, so you can just fill that pouch. Now, if you've got any type of rooting hormone, which I'm running out of, I don't think I've got much left, I just put my finger, dip in it, or whatever you want, and you only need to do the top cut. Okay, that's where the roots are going to grow. So just, hang on, can you see that? I'm just painting with my finger the top cut. That's it. You don't even have to put rooting hormone. This will work regardless, because look how much foliage I've got up here. I really expect this to be 2 months, and I should have a successful air layer. Now just get the sphagnum moss that's been soaking in the water. I try and squeeze some of the water out because it'd be too watery, too wet, which is not too bad, but it's hard to work with when it's that watery. And I just pack it in all around. Yeah, this is just my technique to air layering. I know people use, like chopped pots, and there's all these new products on the market that you can buy and air layer with. It's up to you guys, but as long as the key is the ring bark, making sure that nice ring bark, making sure you've got a healthy tree, and that's important too, nice healthy tree. Let's have a look, see how much room I've got. Okay. Now I've got the first lot in, that's probably the hardest bit. Once the first lot's in, then you just try and work it all in, and then get some more, keep packing it in. For this size tree, you don't need a huge ball, you don't need a huge ball of sphagnum moss, you don't need a huge air layer pocket, just a decent sized one. That's almost all you need, that one. I think that's close to being about it. Close to being all you need. Because the roots will just grow into that. It'll be nice and moist. I just want to make sure I've covered, all covered. So making sure I've covered the part that I'm air layering, the cup. Now I try and tighten the plastic up and try and wrap it around each other. And this is where, if you've got that piece of wire still there connected, you can just wrap it around, which is a nice little easy way to do it, technique. As I said, however you can create these little pouches, do it. Pouches, cup, plastic pots, whatever. Just as long as you create some sort of medium for it to aerate into and grow roots. I just love this technique because it's the one I'd have pretty close to 100% success if I do it at the right time of year. So the right time of year is early spring for me for Shimpaku. I have tried doing it last year. I tried it in an experiment and tried to do it in late-ish summer, I believe, and have had varied results. Like I will be taking those air layers off that I've created. I think I did 3 of them last year, and there you go. Can you see that, guys? There you go. There's my little pouch done. It's good, easy. The roots should grow into that nicely. Should fill it out. I'll just cover that in black plastic. Now, the reason I do that is the black absorbs the sun's heat much better than white. Like, it's just reflective. White is a reflective surface, so the sun reflects off that, whereas black, it absorbs, keeps it warm. Guess what? My theory is that keeps warm, roots grow. Just like if you ever got cuttings, for example, cuttings need to root quicker if they've got a warm surface underneath, and that's what happens. So that's that one done. And you can see this little tree in the future will be this remaining tree, and then this one will air layer off. Probably there's already wire in it to twist it up, which is great. This has actually got wire in there. Can you see they've got wire ready twisting up the trunk? So we've already got a twisted trunk to deal with, and yeah, that's that one done. And then I'll just do this one, and I'll come back and show you the results of this one as well. This was just pretty simple. This is just this branch here. That was see how this branch here. We're not going to keep it. I'm not going to use it. This is the main tree. Actually, I should turn it this way. This is the main tree. I'll hide that because that's not part of it. I want to air lay that off in the future. But yeah, so we'll just air lay this one off, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, everyone. So 2 little air layers have been completed. But you can see now, you know, this is 4 trees here, possibly more, you know, so 4 trees, so it will be 4 trees. But that's how I go and create these little minis, I guess. And why I love Shimpaku that much, and air laying is critical to building your little miniature Shohin size bonsai. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else now, I forgot. But yeah, look. It is, you know, I will wrap them in black plastic just so that the sun absorbs the heat. But that's it, and then nice little trees in the future. Don't be scared to do air layering. It's really fun. Find a good quality tree. It needs to be healthy. Make sure it's healthy. Have yourself set up, ready to go. Make sure you make a nice sharp cut at the top of the air layer where you want the roots to grow. Make sure there's a big nice gap, that air layering gap that you create. Yeah, just little techniques and little tips that hopefully you guys were able to see clearly in that demonstration. Yeah, that's all I have for you today, and hope you guys enjoyed that video. And put it to work. Try some air layering out, and then report on your results. Ask me questions if you like in the comments. Post up your results is great, and I can have a look as well and share the experience with you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon. Take care.